They thought she was just a medic, until she whispered 7 words that froze every man on that ridge. "Can I borrow your rifle for a second?" No one moved, not even the wind. Before I tell you what happened next, tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I love knowing who's listening. The heat shimmered off the Afghan sand, and the valley below pulsed with enemy fire. 50 targets. 50 rifles trained on a single convoy pinned in the open. The SEAL snipers had been trying for hours, their scopes fogged, their nerves shot, and that's when she walked up. Sleeves rolled, medic patch dusty, eyes calm. Lieutenant Hayes almost laughed. "This isn't your lane, Doc," he said, but her voice didn't shake. "Then whose is it, sir? They're dying down there." She didn't wait for permission. She dropped to one knee beside the nearest sniper, her hands steady despite the quake of mortars in the distance. "May I?" she asked again. Softer this time. The sniper hesitated, then slid the rifle toward her. Her fingers brushed the cold steel, a connection so natural it startled even her. She took a deep breath. The valley blurred. The wind sang, and in that moment, the woman everyone overlooked became something else entirely. They called her Captain Erin Locke, former Marine sniper, retired after a classified mission that went terribly wrong. Nobody knew the full story, only whispers. Some said she left because she couldn't pull the trigger anymore. Others said she pulled it one too many times. But when the first round cracked through the air and dropped a target clean, the SEALs fell silent. Then another, and another. Within 60 seconds, 10 figures lay still in the dust below. Her face didn't change. Her breathing never wavered. By the time the 20th shot landed, the others began reloading for her, passing mags wordlessly, eyes wide, disbelief turning into awe. "Who are you?" one whispered. Erin didn't answer. She just adjusted the scope, murmuring numbers. Only she seemed to understand. The rhythm of her firing became a kind of music, sharp, haunting, exact, a deadly lullaby, echoing across the mountain. But behind that calm, her heart thudded like thunder. Each target wasn't a faceless enemy to her. They were ghosts, memories. Every pull of the trigger brought back the faces she'd tried to forget. The villagers, the little boy with the red scarf, the commander who'd saved her life but never made it home. She thought she'd buried those memories. She was wrong. The radio cracked. Convoy moving. "We're clear." Cheers erupted around her. Soldiers were hugging, shouting, "Alive." But Erin just stared through the scope one last time. The final target frozen in her crosshair. The man wasn't shooting. He was running. Her finger hovered, her pulse slowed. Then she lowered the rifle. "Not this one," she whispered. When the dust settled, 50 enemies were down. The convoy rolled free, and for the first time in years, Erin smiled, not because she'd won, but because she'd chosen not to lose herself again. Lieutenant Hayes stood beside her, speechless. You saved 50 men," he said quietly. "Why'd you ever leave?" Erin wiped her hands, the smell of gunpowder fading into the wind. "Because sometimes, Lieutenant," she said softly, "the hardest battle isn't out there, it's in here." She tapped her chest. The SEALs never forgot her name after that day. Because true strength isn't in how many targets you drop, it's in knowing when to stop pulling the trigger. And as the sun dipped behind the ridge, the woman they once dismissed as a medic stood tall again, not as a soldier, but as herself. If this story moved you, hit that subscribe button, share it with someone who believes in quiet courage, and tell me in the comments what you'd have done in her place. Because on this channel, every story reminds us, heroes don't always wear rank, sometimes they just ask for a rifle.